What's going on, guys? My name is Joe. This is the Duel Factory, and in today's video I'm going to be bringing you an updated Despia deck profile. It is my favorite deck of the format, and I'm going to continue playing it, and I'm still learning how to play it. So my list keeps changing, evolving every couple of weeks and stuff like that, and I figure I'd give you the most up-to-date list I have. This one does not play Allure in it like the previous ones. After playing it, I think Allure is insane. And it's just, like I said, every time it resolves, like Banishing McCurry or Banishing Transient, like, it's just raw gas. But there were a lot of times when I was playing it and my hands just clumped, and then it caused me to have, like, very unoptimal or subpar hands, personally. So I decided not to play it, even though I think the card's insane. And I went more to playing cards like Foolish and Goldsark as not better cards, but other options in terms of resolving, like, McCurrier to get Albion, and then Albion to send the card, and then essentially search a hand trap and whatnot. So I'm gonna go ahead and get into the list. I'm also only playing 40 cards because I just refuse to play anything over 40. So start off, you're still playing 3 of your best normal summon, 3 Aliber. Not much to say there. Let's spread this out a little bit. I'm kind of using this kind of help me better space cards, but yeah, you play 3 Aliber. Not much to say there. We also play 2 copies of Tragedy. I think 2 is the correct number for this card. There's an argument to play 3 if you're playing Allure, but as I mentioned earlier in the profile, I'm not playing Allure. So, and then the one-ofs, we play 1 copy of Dramaturge and 1 copy of Ad Libitum. Card's still insane. And then Dramaturge is really, really good because it acts as another form of interruption and an extra body to fuse with whenever you're using your polys. We're still playing 3 copies of Fallen Albaz. I still think this is correct because Ash Blossom is the most prevalent hand trap, and you need to be able to play through Ash Blossom if they stop your branded fusion, and having this in hand does that. Another cool interaction, you can actually also search it off McCurrier because it's a Fallen Albaz, obviously. So if you're in a situation where you need to banish the McCurrier to search this and still play, you can do that. And then for the Fallen Albaz named monsters, we play 1 Albion the Shadow Dragon, 1 Kit, and then 1 McCurrier. Like I said previously, I think this card's really, really good, especially when you pair it with cards like Allure, but the problem is I'm not trying to see multiple copies of this card in my hand during my games, and then you have a lot of access to it if you need it, especially since in this build you resolve Branded Lost a lot, so you're able to search this card at will. Kit's cool because it's basically a pseudo starter, and it also is an extender whenever you're going for like double Masquerade, Mirror Jade combos and stuff like that, so it's really cool. And Albion just gets better and better the more and more I play it. For monsters that are not Fallen Albaz or Despia monsters, we're playing 3 copies of Edge Chain. I still think this is the best discard and the best fodder in the deck in terms of fusing and whatnot, so we're definitely playing 3 of it. And we're still playing 1 copy of Fairy Tale Snow. So I still think Snow you have to play in this deck because I think it's insane because you need the option to send a light monster off of Branded Fusion, and Snow is just by far the best light monster. On to the spell cards. Not much to say. 3 copies of Branded Fusion. I still think this is one of the best cards in Yu-Gi-Oh, if not the best card in Yu-Gi-Oh currently. Yeah, not much to say. 3 copies of Branded Opening, your Searcher and your Special Summoner, and then I see, like, the more and more you play it, I see a lot more interactions that become really, really good with the card, so not much to say. 2 copies of Branded in Red. I have thought about playing 3 copies, especially since I'm getting more and more comfortable with the deck, so I start seeing the double Masquerade Mirror Jade combo. But I think 2 might just be the correct number. I might just be overreaching on that, but we'll see as the weeks progress. And then 1 copy of Branded Lost and 1 copy of Despia, the Theater of the Branded. I think you 100% need to be playing Branded Lost. The advantage that I think this list has over like the Brave list is being able to effectively use this card because you're constantly searching extra monsters every single turn. For example, you're searching a hand trap, you're searching extender, or you're just essentially you're searching an Upstart Goblin at that point. And you just keep resolving this card because you resolve poly more than regular Despia lists. So there's that. And then the 1 copy of Branded Sword. And then I am playing the newly released Branded Banishment. I think this card is insane in the mirror match. However, outside of the mirror match, I don't really know how I feel about the card. I might cut it completely, but in the mirror it's crazy. That's all I know. For other cards, I am playing 3 copies of Super Poly still. I feel like you're obligated to play this card simply because, 1, you need it for the mirror match, otherwise you can't. I don't want to say you can't win, but it does tip scales in your favor because it makes it a lot easier to crack your boards and go for game because playing through a Mirror Jade is actually really, really hard, but if you have Super Poly, it doesn't matter. You also need it for Sword Soul too, because you need to be able to crack Sword Soul Sword Soul boards, and this is the easiest way to do it. Other cards, we're playing 2 copies of Patchwork. We were playing 3 at one point, but I think 2 is the correct number, because realistically you can only resolve it twice, and you'd much rather see Edge of Chain in your opening hands than you would the Patchwork. Patchwork's still crazy though, don't get me wrong, there is an argument to play 3 of, just me personally, I like 2. And then we're still playing 2 copies of Poly. I still think 2 copies is just fine. And then I wasn't playing Allure, so to substitute those cards, I played 1 copy of Foolish and 1 copy of Goldsark. Arguably, they do not do the same thing that Allure does. Let's make that very clear. Allure is insane. Me personally, though, for consistency's sake, because think of it this way. Allure is the gas version, where this would just be for, like, actual consistency. I decided to play those 2 cards. And they're still insane. So if you think about it, like for your if you need to like resolve a tragedy search, you need them courier search. If you count these, you're essentially playing 5 copies of those cards. So I think that that's just good enough. The power 1 of and Called by the Grave, and then this last card could be whatever you want. I just chose to play Upstart Goblin. A couple of reasons, not actually pertaining to anything with the actual deck profile itself, but I couldn't find my copy of Change of Heart, but I did find that because I thought about playing that because I thought it'd be crazy. What was the other card there was another card I was thinking about playing. I almost decided not to play the card and play Yatagarasu instead because I have a First Dead Secret, but I decided not to do that. But I'm still deciding what the 40th slot will be, but I'll think about that later. But for now, it's Upstart Goblin just for a 39 card deck, and I was reading Road to the King, so I thought it'd be hilarious. So there's that. On to the extra deck. It's honestly the same. So 2 copies of Lubellion. You need 2 copies of Mirror Jade. The second copy will come up, especially with hand traps floating around everywhere. 2 copies of Albion, the Branded Dragon, best fusion in the deck. I want to play 3, but there's not room. 1 copy of Brigand. Also another reason why I only play 1 copy of Mercurier, because there are a lot of not combo strings, but play lines where you already have access to Branded in red, so you can send this instead just to grab the Mercurier. 1 copy of Titaniclad. This is how you out a linked 4 material arrivals, I think it's called, for Ignister. There's also other applications too. 2 copies of Masquerade. You do need to play 2. 1 Quarterist, because you do need this to break the Sword Soul board. We're still playing the 1 Proskinian. I don't know if it's necessary to play it, especially since Anaconda's gone, so you're not going against as many DPE boards. But there's applications in the deck where you can actually summon it with Poly by itself and be able to push for game. But this might get subbed out for the new Fusion Monster. I just haven't received my copy yet in the mail, so that's why I'm not playing it. But we're playing Proskinian for now. 2 Guardian Chimera cards, insane, not much to say. And then 1 copy of Predaplant Draco Stapelia. And that was my Branded Despia updated list for the new current format. Tell me what you guys think in the comment section below. I am going to start playing some other decks too. I want to learn how to play Sword Soul because I think that deck's actually does really, really good this format. So I think it's worth learning how to play. I'm also going to play some Therion stuff. That's another set of cards I'm waiting for to come in the mail. Just U.S. Postal Service just sucks. Therion, I want to play Therion ABC for sure. I think that deck's super hot. I think that deck's super hot. But again, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.